Okay, good morning, everybody. This is going to be a video that I'm going to do as fast as I can. I've got a couple of our Discord members, or at least one person in our Discord, that has joined the live. Usually I don't do these live. Of course, you'll be seeing them later. I'll probably post this about an hour or two later. But if you're in our Discord group, I may start doing these live where you can get the plays earlier. We call plays every single day, pretty much. And this is just one of the ways to get them. I try to give a free play or two every once in a while to the public as well. But if you are interested in our Discord, here's a call that we made just last night for CETI, Tau CETI. And we also talk about, I know a lot of you are probably into degen plays out there, like, the base ecosystem. We're talking a lot about that in here right now. So that may be something we get into much more as things progress. And people in here are making really good calls. I mean, like, I've got one person in here that he actually made, I think, forgot what it was, 100,000, 200,000, something like that, off of one of these base plays. Of course, it was his call, but he called it in here to where everybody could take advantage of it. So just understand there are, really good plays going on. I'll put the link in the description below for our Discord, and you can check that out. I mean, you don't have to join us. I'll keep doing free plays, but if you're looking for something, with community, something that'll give you long-term plays, short-term plays, we're also doing spreadsheets of AI and RWA plays currently. So I want you to be able to take advantage of that, for plays that haven't, released yet. We're looking into a lot of those, checking the teams and that sort of thing. So you can take advantage of our research as well. Just something to keep in mind if you are interested in something a little bit more like this. Okay, let's get into the kind of the pulse of the market, and this isn't going to take long. We'll jump into our workflow for Nansen here in just a second. I've got this. Some of you may not know what this is. This is a friend of mine that I've been supporting his work for about 2 years now. It's called Engineering Robo, and he is an engineer. He actually has a degree, and I think he's got other engineers on his team, but they have developed a better version of their Engineering Robo platform, and it's going to be called Engineering Robo AI. It does come out in about, I think, 2 weeks. But here's what you would be looking at. You'll get a dashboard like this that is actually, you can change any of these. Like if you want to look at a certain, like I changed it to look at USDT dominance, so I can kind of see everything on one dashboard here. So if we're looking at this and how to read it, and there is a smart money area here as well, but I'll just go real quick how to read it. So I've got Bitcoin here at the top. Here's others, which is, it's all the altcoins minus the top 10 market cap. I think that's how it works. And then here's DXY, and here's USDT dominance. So if we look at the first thing, multi-time frame, Bitcoin's bullish, others is bullish, DXY is bullish, and then USDT is bearish on the dominance. Sometimes you're going to see that DXY is bullish. I mean, that's fine, and Bitcoin can still do well. Most of the time it does really well when DXY is really bearish, of course. But you can see here that the dominance for USDT is bearish. And the way to understand USDT dominance is it is the inverse of Bitcoin, number one. And then number two, if you think in terms of it being like a token of its own, just imagine if somebody was to sell USDT, what are they selling it into? Well, that means they're going risk on. They must be using it to purchase some other token, right? That's the only way it could work. So that's one way to think of it if it's a little bit confusing, not understanding what the dominance is. But aside from that, we're clearly bullish on the weekly on Bitcoin. Only thing that's bearish currently is the 15-minute and the daily. And the reason why the daily is bearish is because this could be a lower high. And that's something we have to at least consider. Like I've got a line here that says bullish above here. Things are looking fine currently, but there has to be continuation, because if you go up to like a 3-day chart, you can clearly see that if we close under this candle here, which that's where the wick is currently, so say for this week or within the next 3 days, if this candle closes under these candle bodies here, that's not good. And I know everybody expects us just to keep going up, but that's not the way it works. We have to take it day by day, see what price action looks like, and then make our opinion based on that. And so that's why you're currently seeing that the daily is bearish. But clearly, if we get a candle above here, I'm definitely open to us just pumping again up to like 85K, 95K. I think there's a fib at 105K. So macro, I'm definitely bullish, but we have to kind of keep an eye on what's going on with the micro, which in this case would be daily or weekly, is what we're looking at. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep you updated. But smart money is currently in on, their risk on basically is the way to look at that. But lower time frames and daily on Bitcoin, we are a little bit bearish, and on the others. So I'm just kind of keeping an eye on this. If we get a daily candle close back below the bullish line, then that's not good. So we'll keep an eye on that and let you know. And then I've got a total 3 chart here, which is kind of the same thing, but it is creating a double top. So, we need to keep some momentum there if it's going to go up. Oh, and one thing I didn't mention is the AI social intelligence score. So if this is a green and a 5, that's the max it can be. And what this does is, depending on the chart that you're looking at, like I'm looking at a 3-hour. So this AI will go in and look at Reddit, at Twitter, other things, and try to see what the sentiment is from, people posting about the token. So currently it's seeing it as bullish. And that's just the 3-hour. I mean, if we switched over to like the daily, it might show something different here. Let's just see. Yeah, I mean, it's showing a 4, not much change, but it is a little bit lower. So it's fine. All right. So this is one other thing I wanted to mention just real quick. Nansen has these little queries that will look at smart money stablecoin indicators. And I've talked about this previously. This is a different chart that I'm looking at, but it's still the same idea. Back here, no, it's really hard to see that, but it says, right around March 2021, about the end of March 2021, stablecoin, what is the word I'm looking for? Stablecoin, accrual, stablecoin. Anyway, smart money was taking on stablecoins to their wallets at the time. And the reason why that's important is it could happen similarly. I'm not saying it absolutely will, but if you look at what these lines represent, it says euphoria threshold. So this pink line means that people are euphoric, and it can stay down in the euphoric range for a while. We know that. But here's the panic threshold. So in this case, you should be buying above this line and you should be selling below this line. And that doesn't mean sell everything, of course. That just means if you've got a token that has gone up like 10x, 20x or something like that, it's good to take some profits, when you get into this range. Because that's probably what smart money's doing. They're taking stable coins to their wallet. Let's see here. I'm just going to mute you there, Gonzi. Okay, so that's one way to look at the stable coins, to see, if smart money is taking some stable coins. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are just yet, because see, the spike happened right here on about March 11th, 2021. We haven't seen a spike here yet. So there's really no indication that they're taking a lot of stable coins currently. So I think things are fine there. And that's what we do here, by the way, on the Discord and the things that I'm talking about here. Smart money is a big part of what we do. We look every single day and we try to see what smart money is purchasing. And we also combine that with TA. And I don't think a lot of people do that, because a lot of people, you have to invest a lot of time to really learn TA. So we have 3 very good TA people, me included, not to toot my own horn, but I have put a lot of time into it and a lot of effort. And if you look at my Twitter, I mean, this is one other thing I just wanted to make a real quick point about, is that I will always give you the calls even before I enter sometimes. Like, well, that's Foddy right there. That's just a meme coin. But Badger, I told everybody about my short before it happened. I told about the Jasmine short before it happened. Made a little bit of money on this one, but I got out because it didn't look good. And right there I said I got stopped out. And there was one other short that I did, and I don't do them too often, but it's something different that some of the people in the Discord like. But you'll always see, I'll make these updates daily if you want to follow me. And then desync was a huge move. Within, I think, 7 days, we did a 7x or something like that. So you can clearly see that I'm giving you the calls before they happen. And we got these calls through smart money, you know, through Nansen. And that's the point I want to make about that before we begin here. Yeah, I think here up front, I'll give you the tokens and then we'll jump into Nansen. So let me give you the tokens here real fast that look pretty good currently. So here's CETI. I just talked about that when we called it last night. I'm good with it as long as it stays above this line. If you get a daily close below support, probably good to let it go and then just wait for it to get back above support. And I realize if you're buying this on a DEX or something, I mean, the fees are going to eat you up for sure. So wTAI is a really good example of one that I just held on to. I think I bought it somewhere up here maybe. And I was like, well, you know, the fees and the tax and everything, I'm just not going to mess with it. And I ended up buying some more last night right around here. So I think it probably found support, but we'll see. This would be another good buy. And then what do we have here? FLT. This is one of our longer term plays that we called, it was actually in our research channel, which there's some really good research for tokens that haven't been released yet. And you'll get access to these spreadsheets as well. Let's see. Oh, that must have been straight off the spreadsheet. I can't show the spreadsheet because it would give away a lot of our plays, but you know, if you're interested in that, that's what you could do. But it is a longer term play and it could come back down to this bullish line. And then the way to play this is if you were to buy a little bit here, or if you were to buy some at the bullish line and then a daily candle close below, then you could get out of it there. And if it came down to support, maybe buy some more, or, you know, maybe buy back in. So just use these lines as your conviction line basically. And hopefully this one, I don't remember, I think it might be, yeah, it's on Bybit. So if we buy these on exchange, the fees aren't as bad, right? Here is ORBK. I bought this one, I think right in here somewhere, and it went down a little bit more. But I feel like it's just going to consolidate near the support line, hopefully. And as long as Bitcoin's bullish, that would be the case. If Bitcoin got bearish, you know, of course, it would probably go down more. But it is a newer coin. It's a BRC20 narrative. What else is good about it? Yeah, I mean, Mubi was a BRC20 narrative and I made a lot of money off of it back in November. But, you know, everything was pumping back then. So, you know, as long as Bitcoin is bullish, things will go up for sure. And then ACQ, this is one that we were watching in the group. I found it really interesting because, let me turn this off for a second. Found it really interesting because it was doing a macro inverted head and shoulders, but then it was also doing a micro one here, you know, on a shorter time frame. So it was kind of stacking them up there. And we were just talking about, well, you know, if we get a daily candle above the bullish line, then it's probably a pretty good entry because that's the neckline there. And if we were to draw a price range tool to the neck and then extend that up here, just roughly, that's about where it would end up. It could be like an 8x. I mean, the TP2 line would be fine, you know, if you were looking to take profit. So we'll just call it conservatively a 5x is what I expect to happen. I don't know how soon it will happen, but I feel like it will. Okay, so let's jump into some of our plays here. And I'll show you my workflow. I'll show you the way that I found Mubi initially, back when I wasn't real clear on how to use all of this. You know, back when I first started using Nansen, is I would use this token inflow. And the cool thing about this is you can actually use this for free. Like if you go on to Nansen and you don't have an account at all, this will actually show up for you and you can just flip through it and look at the plays. I usually don't look at the first page just because these are tokens that have already done a pretty big move, or they're like staking tokens or something like that. So usually I'll start on page 2. The only bad thing is, as far as the free version, is that if you were to click through on these, like I'll just click TokenFi here. If you were to click through on these as a free user, it's not going to show you all this information and be able to look at smart money and stuff like that. And really, this is where the juicy stuff is. This is where you want to look to see, you know, who's buying and that sort of thing. So in our Discord, you know, you take advantage of being able to see this for free. But if you wanted to purchase Nansen, I do have a discount code, and that's also in my description below. But again, you don't have to have any of this. You don't have to have any indicators. If you're buying at support and selling at resistance, that's the way to make money, if you know how to do TA. But this system does help us find tokens early, which is good. Let's see. I'll show you a couple different methods, but this is the first one I'm going to use. TokenFi is a really good long-term project, by the way. The only reason I'm not really going to look at it is it's already, what is it up? 20 million to 160. I don't know, it's at least a 10x anyway, so I'm not really interested in it right now until it pulls back. Let's just see if we can find any interesting coins here. And what you're looking at here on the right is the 24-hour smart money inflow. That means you've got smart money wallets, which Nansen describes them as people that have profitable wallets. They're like the top 1% of all wallets out there. You know, they're making money while others are losing money, basically. And so you got things like Gala, that's a really high market cap. It's had about 89,000 worth come through. Doesn't matter as much with Gala because of the, how high the market cap is. So I'm not really interested in that one so much. I want to find new tokens like BAG here, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's under 10 million, so that's probably one to look at. February. I mean, this one's okay. Maybe we will look at this one because it's 250 million. As long as it's under 500 million, I'm good with it. Checks was one that keeps popping up. It's up 76%. I think I'll pass on that one for now. I'm just looking for ones I haven't really seen lately. And this one here, even though it's under 100 million, I'm not really interested in it because it's from 2020. I mean, they could still do good for sure, but I'm not really interested in it right now. Here's CETI, that's the one we just talked about. I'll show you what the smart money looks like on that here in a second. And I'll go down on this until, maybe I see 10K. Right now I'm in kind of like the 20 to 30K range. Mavia, that's one we've been playing for a while on long term. Let's see if we can find something new here. What is ML? That one maybe one to look at is from March. It would launch this month. Tower. No. Ape has been doing pretty well lately. I mean, it's a high market cap, but it seems like it has some momentum. There's Lush. That was that airdrop for wTAI, I think. Is it wTAI? Well, I don't remember which one it is now. It could end up, the only reason I don't like that is it's such a degen project in every sense of the word. I think it's like basically OnlyFans for crypto. So I don't like to get into plays like that from from that perspective anyway. AGRS is another one on our list. Movie is on our list for long term. I think we're looking into KNDX, but this one's been out there for a while. What else do we see? Yeah, there's not too much right now showing up. Mong is on our list as well. I wonder if that one's ready to go. What is that? Oh, it doesn't show our market cap. Oh, one thing to notice is Nansen actually shows fully diluted valuation based on how many tokens are in circulation. So, let me find one here. So this fully diluted valuation of 55 million may not be correct now that I think about it. The market cap, the actual current market cap could be lower than that. wBAI, we actually entered this one. Somebody in our group made like a 3x on, when it first released this. I think it was a fair launch on this one, maybe. So it actually went up when it took off. Oh yeah, Combo, that was the one I saw. Well, that's from 2020. I mean, the older tokens are fine, but I don't know. There's just something about them I don't like to get into them. So maybe we'll just look at those. What is GOAT? Okay, here's a really low market cap. Let's look at that one. AXGT was actually one that somebody in our group called, and they made money off of that one when it first took off. Oh, they're sturdy. We made a lot of money off of that one. Okay, so we've got, what, about 6 to 8 there, and we'll go through them real quick. But first, before we do that, let's Let's look at one other option to try to find good plays. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, here it is. So this one right here is under the smart money tab. And then this one's smart money buy, sell. I don't remember if the filters can help us here. Yeah, I mean, we could filter by, we want to see at least 5 smart money that have entered. Well, let's do 3. Within the last 24 hours, we want to see 3 smart money that have entered. And I think in this case, I may want to just look at only new tokens. We want to find something that just released that may be pumping or has one of our people in it. Because these are highly curated wallets that we have that I've developed over, well, since last November. So it's taken a while to find the best ones. Virtual is one that we played initially. Okay, let's look at new tokens then. These should be like within the last 7-day launches. And what you're going to get sometime, yeah, wBAI is there. So what you're going to get sometimes, you're going to get a pump. Let me see if I can find one. Yeah, here's a good example. So sometimes you're going to get a pump out of something, and then all of a sudden it just turns around on you. Well, you know, once it's done like a 50% retrace, this is probably more like a golden pocket retrace, like a 618. Yeah, pretty close. So once you get at least 50% retrace and it just keeps going down like this is about where you want to be buying, because usually it's not going to go much lower than that. Although it can happen, you know, I've seen it happen in the past. But then sometimes you get these that just go up immediately. I mean, here's another one went down first. Well, that's a bad example. I'm trying to find new tokens. Okay, here's a new token. So can this one go down further? Sure, it can. I mean, look how that's probably a 50% retrace. Okay, that's only the 382. So there is still a chance. I mean, it could even come down here to 24 cents. So that's why I say, if you're going to get into these new tokens like this, have your, know where your support is. And I share these charts to our members so they can look at them anytime. You know, I just copy the link here and they can open it and copy it, or, however they want to do it, make their own notes. But if you get a daily close below the support, it's probably a good idea to get under it, get out of it, because it could come down to here, about 24 cents or so. But hopefully it just takes off. That's what we're wanting to happen. It's just good money management. Okay, so wAI, we're not going to worry about. APU we've seen recently. WASD is one that one of our analysts brought up, and I can't remember. It could still do well. It's a gaming project. I didn't like the website though. It just looked horrible, and the game just looked so generic. It was one of these shooters, and then the tag that they're using to explain their project is they are gamers that created a gaming project. And usually you want somebody that's done a project before, or you want somebody that's a good developer. So I don't really trust this one, but I mean, the market is not, it doesn't make sense sometimes, right? I mean, you got memes pumping all the time. So really it's about community. If the token has a lot of community to it, it can still go. It doesn't matter how bad the project looks. So let's look at, let's see, wTAI, and I'll share some charts on these as well. But there's not many new tokens right now. So we'll just look at these as well, and we'll start taking a look at them all. So first glance, this looks fine on BAG. You've got 142K. Smart Money has purchased 142K in the last 24 hours. It's under 10 million. It's a fairly new token from January. It's up 14%. And let's just see here. I want to see if any Smart Money bought in the last 7 days. It doesn't show any there, but let's look at this. And the name could work. It's kind of a meme name. So this could be a good possibility. None of the wallets that I follow are in it, but I do need to check some of these wallets to see. This is part of your workflow. If you have Nansen, if you start looking at any of these tokens, go in here and see if they're profitable or if they get into plays early. Maybe it is a wallet that you want to follow. Let's see. So I want to look up BAG token. And this might be the right one, but we have to verify it. So 0039. Where did I put that one? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so that's right. This is 004. It's almost the same. So what I would do in this case is I would just make sure I had the right token, and then I would go to my chart. And it's probably going to be, this becomes a little bit more difficult because you got to make sure it's the right one. So I'm going to look at Uniswap. Yeah, that's the right one. All right, so if we were to look, my guess is this one probably had an airdrop or it wasn't a fair launch. You know, people got in earlier, or there's private investors that got in early. And you can tell this by when you see the price, you know, starts up here and then it dumps all of a sudden. There is a chance this looks like it could be a bullish divergence, because I've got momentum coming up here on Market Cipher while price was going down. No guarantee, because I saw the exact same thing on ORBK. So you could still see something like this, and then it finally finds the bottom and comes up. But in this case, what I would do, and I'll show you this real quick. I've showed this in a previous video, but what I would do is I would go to a higher time frame, and I would say, okay, where are the majority of my candlesticks? And right there is what I would call the bullish line. So I'm not real confident that this one's going to take off bigger until it gets above that line. And then I can say this right here is my support. And you have to go to high time frames for this because you can't see these candlesticks as clear unless you're at a high time frame like this. And if this thing had a lot of history, I'd probably go like to a monthly or a 3-month chart, but this is a brand new token, so the weekly is enough. I could even step up to a monthly. Yeah, see, there's not enough information there. I've got to have some additional candlesticks. Usually you want to connect like 3, and I don't have 3 here, but it's close enough. And then you can step down to your lower time frame. And so this would kind of be your buy zone in here. I mean, there's another line right here that you could say this would also be bullish if it got above this line, because it's kind of like the midpoint. But anyway, what you could do is buy anytime this hits support, and then if it has a daily candle below, just get out of it, or just wait until it gets above the bullish line. That's the way I would play it anyway. And you can also use RSI on this if you want. Okay, and while our Discord members are in here watching this, I wanted to show them one thing. Oh, by the way, this has an AI intelligence score of 5 and it's green, so it is bullish on the 3-hour for sure. What was I going to show? Okay, so let me just get rid of this. And I want to bring up, this is a free indicator that I've showed before, but some of our newer members may not know about it. You can find it by going to, I just type in the ARTY. Yeah. So if you type in the ARTY, ARTY, it's made by Phoenix Binary. Just click on that or save it. It's not going to show up right away on the 3-hour because there's not enough history. But look right here. I mean, this thing works really well. You could almost treat it like money flow. So currently you could call this red money flow, and then it's barely, you have to kind of zoom in here, but it's barely into the green now. So this gives you a little bit more confidence, but of course it has to hold that line right there, because if it was to get under it, then it would be red again. And that would build, I mean, look right here. For those of you that know market structure and how it works, see how this was your, well, basically this was a lower high, but if this was to stay above this line, it would be a higher high. And that's what market structure is all about. You want to build that stair step. So here's one step, here's a higher step, and then you want to see it keep building those higher steps like that. Yeah, so check that out. And then here's my settings for it if you're curious. I've got it on weighted. I've got all the lines hidden. Here's the EMA lines that I use. I've got it on Trend Cloud Big, that creates this. Anything else you can probably get rid of. And just pause it if you want to look at that. Okay, let's go back. Bag looks okay. I mean, I don't think it's a massive conviction for me, just because I would call it low conviction, just because we don't have any of our wallets in it. But I'm going to keep it here, and I'll look at some of these wallets later. All right, here is Subquery. This is SQT. There is Smart Money Net Inflows. That means they're taking it to their wallet. I don't know what the market cap is. Maybe we can look at that because I do want to make a point of that. Yeah, subquery network. So 20 million market cap, but notice how it shows 256. So that's the fully diluted valuation, meaning they're taking into account what the market cap is versus the total supply, I believe. Hang on. Let me make sure I got that right. Price times max supply. Price time. Okay, so it's price times max supply. Okay. But yeah, this one's pumping. What is it up? Well, it's not up a whole lot. It may be a good place still. Volume's low. Going sideways. Let's just see what this looks like. I mean, it's trending up as far as new smart money that have entered. And I do have one wallet in it, but this isn't a high conviction wallet. Wow, they bought a lot. That can't be right. I think this could be a liquidity provider. This wallet's way too big. Well, actually, maybe not. I'm not real sure how to read this, honestly. I would throw this one out just because, I don't know. But here you have a 180-day smart DEX trader, which means that they have been profitable for 180 days. They're one of the best. I don't know what their P&L is. I have to look that up later. But that's pretty high conviction, I would say, that they have just purchased 93,000. And if we look at the chart for this one, leave that one there. Subquery, yeah, that's it right there. 026. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to draw the lines on this one. I can just do it on the fly. So this has broken out because you can see these candlesticks right here, or these candle bodies. It has broken above them. RSI is bullish. This is on the daily chart. We do have a buy on this indicator here, plus social intelligence score is green and a 4. I could put a line right here. I mean, just eyesighting it. I think that's about right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And I believe once it gets above, what, 0.28, it could really take off. Just see what the fibs look like here. Yeah, it could reject at the 786 one more time. That's about 0.29. But your target, let's just see how profitable it could be from here. So if it got to the 1618, you could make about 170%, and it might turn around there. So that's not too bad. There's some gap there that could be played. You always want to see how profitable it could be, because some of these just aren't worth it. If you're only going to get like a 50% return or something. Yeah, so that's not bad at all. Yeah, let's just keep that one there. I might look at it again later. CETI, we already have this one as a play. Yeah, pretty good uptrend here. More and more smart money is entering it. And I do have 1, 2, 3. So if you see this here, that means they're about 40% profitable, which is really good. I mean, I know it may not sound like a lot, but if you're making money off 40% of your plays, you're doing great. And here's one that's 60%. And then we've got some other smart money that had purchased recently. One of them was ours right there, yeah. So within the last 7 days, a lot of smart money has come in, number one. Number two, you're not seeing any red here. Like if people were selling this, you'd see some red. So people are accumulating. There is a little bit of concern just because your higher token balances are DEX traders, though it looks like they tend to hold longer. If you see a lot of these 7-day smart DEX traders, then they might be a short-term player, and you might see them sell within the next within about 2 weeks or so. They might sell if price goes up, but it can also be an indicator when to take your profit. So that's a good thing. And that's about what we do on our short-term plays, 2 to 4 weeks or so. That's what we look for. So yeah, I mean, that one looks fine. And then we've got another one here that looks like decent volume. This one's called MLT. When is this? March? Oh, okay. So this one, This one's a year old. Okay. I'm probably not going to be interested in this one because I don't have any of my wallets in it. So let's skip that one. Lush. I'm actually curious to see if we have any wallets in this one. Nice uptrend though. I mean, look how smart money. The what is this color? The light green, the light blue, whatever it is. See how it continues to go up? That's smart money holders opening new wallets for this token. The smart money balance doesn't matter as much, but it's also trending up as well. Okay, so we have a really good fund in this one named Kronos. I think it's like Kronos Capital or something. And they just purchased today. Yeah, I mean, I like this one. What is this? 68 million. Let's look at Lush. Let me just make sure it's the right one first. Probably is. I would be careful with this one. At first, let me verify. 003. Yeah. I would be careful with this one just because it looks like a lower high currently. You know, if I was looking at this one and said, you know, if I'm going to put my bullish line, it's probably going to be up here. Notice how that wick hit that resistance area exactly. And so if we look at this on like a 3, well, we'll look at it on daily. And there's a chance it could roll back over, and this would be your support. Actually, Cubic did something very similar to this. I mean, this looks kind of like the same pattern. So, you know, it could come back down here more times, so just be careful with it. RSI is definitely trending down. All right, Mong coin. This is a meme. It does look like it's been building positive market structure here. Let's see what, there's really not a whole lot of smart money buying it today, but let's see what, I don't think we have any of our wallets in it. Yeah, I think let's skip this one. ZKML. Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty good. Trending smart money wallets there. Okay, this looks good. We've got somebody that bought within the last 30 days. By looking at this, the last 30 days they bought. This person buys early. It's a high net value wallet. It's almost 4 million. They did buy today. That's good. And then here's one of our very best wallets that bought a long time ago. And I can show where they bought actually. Look here. Yeah, they bought way back here. So they bought, what, 14 cents, 15 cents? Surprised they didn't take some profit here. But anyway, it's like a 90% profitable wallet. So, I mean, it looks like they're going to hold it for longer. Let's take a look at the chart. What is our price in this one? This particular token has been showing up in Nansen for a long time. I've just kind of faded it because there's been better plays. You know, I mean, look how it just kind of chops and goes sideways and pumps every once in a while. But it could be a good play now. Let's look. 49 million market cap, 49 cents. I think that's the same one. Well, pretty close. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay. So we'll go to the weekly and just see what it looks like. I mean, I know this is kind of scary chasing this big pump like that. I don't like to do it either. And that's why I put these bullish lines here. So bullish line would be about there. I don't know where the support would be. Sometimes I have to move it around a bit before I can figure that out. I'd say support was probably there, 28 cents. So a little bit of a gap there that it could still find and come back to support. But I'd feel a lot more confident once it got above there. And I don't mind missing a profit necessarily. What we talk about in the group is you can do two things. You can either buy down here at support and then release it if it gets below it, you know, a daily close below it, or you could wait until it gets above the bullish line. But here is sort of no man's land, but you could also consider it an accumulation zone because there's a lot of different, we've talked about this before. There's a lot of really good patterns like this consolidation pattern. And if it gets above it and breaks out, that's perfect. That's exactly what you want to see. Or if, we get the drawing tool better here. Or if you get like a, you know, maybe it's like a, what is not looking good? Why? Maybe I have to go to the hourly. So here's another one. Oh, still not working. I don't know, whatever. So you get price action doing this falling wedge thing, then it breaks out. And then there's another one that's like a symmetrical triangle where it bounces around for a while and then it breaks above and takes off. Those are the three patterns that are the most profitable I've found, but you have to have confirmation, of course. So yeah, this one doesn't look bad at all, but there is kind of a mid. Yeah, I mean, you could even call this one support and just get rid of this one. So this is a tighter support at 42 cents. And this is your buy zone. If you want to take a little bit more risk, this is your buy zone. But daily close below the support you don't want to be in. And then, of course, if you get a daily close above this line, then it's going to take off more than likely. So yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. Although RSI is trending down, it needs to hold, 50 RSI there. That is ZKML. Okay, this is GOAT. About 3 million market cap, I believe. Not a whole lot of money coming into it. It's from February 2024. There is a smart money. This is another good area to look at, this who bought area. Oh, I've got a question in the chat here. Does Nansen give you any info on the narrative? Yeah, it really doesn't. I wish it did give information like that, but we do have somebody in the group now that's kind of tracking narrative for us a little bit. He's talking about Dune, that website Dune, which I haven't really used this much, but I believe there is a narrative portion to it. I'd have to find it again. We'll look more into this in the group. I think it would be something that we want to take advantage of. And there's other things like, what's that other one? Kaito? Is it Kaito? Yeah, Kaito AI. This is kind of like a, I'll just show it here real quick. It's maybe way too loud. Okay. So Kaito here, I've tested it out, but what it does is track like Twitter and finds the best, like it does a TLDR for some things. Anyway, you may want to check this out. They have a free trial for 7 days. Just make sure that you don't, it's kaito.ai. Just make sure that you don't go past your free trial, cancel it right away because they will charge you a lot of money. Yeah, so that's two options there. And we'll look more into that. We'll see what we can find with that. What were we talking about? GOAT. Let's see. I don't even know if this one is on. It's such a low cap. It may not be in here. Is that the right one? No, I don't think it's the right one. GOAT token. This is the hard part. Sometimes you have to search around for it. I actually don't know. Well, anyway, we can look on a chart and maybe figure it out. So it's 0003 is the current price. Is it goated maybe? No. Some are easy to find, some aren't. Wish it showed at least what ecosystem it was on. Oh, wait. It's on, okay. It must be ETH. It's on Uniswap. GOAT. Maybe it's this one. No. Well, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'll try to see if I can find it one more time here. Okay, here it is. So it's called GOAT Trading. And the way I verified it was just by the price based on what I saw in Nansen. And that is positive market structure there. I mean, it did dip initially. And so you have all these lower lows, lower highs, but then you got a higher high and now you got a lower high. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad at all on this one. I don't know anything about the project, but if you wanted to look at it this way, you're bullish above right here. So as long, if you wanted to buy here, that's fine. But just realize that if you got a daily candle close below the bullish line, I would just get out, because it could go down much further. And that's what it's all about. You're trying to protect yourself from a lot of downside risk. I mean, don't be in plays that are just going to keep going down. I've done it before, and I've done it recently actually, where like on wTAI, I wrote it down further than I really would have liked, but I had already taken some profit on some of these. Well, not profit, but I took my initial out, so I was okay with it riding, risk-free basically, especially since I had already paid the fees on Uniswap. Okay, so that's GOAT. It looks okay. I think GOAT could be an okay one. Now this is one is like really, really new. This may have come out within the last couple of days, maybe even today. So I don't have a lot of smart money information. Usually it shows up here. I have to look through these. I don't see, well, there's one of our wallets there. This may have been like an airdrop or something though. This doesn't look like a real purchase. This looks like a real purchase though. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they purchased it. So we may have one smart money in it, but Nansen doesn't update it for a couple of days when it's a brand new token. So I'm not real sure on this one. This is a wrapped version of a token. Anytime you see the W in front of it. So it's wTAI. Let me just see if we can find it anywhere. It's either White Tiger. Let's see. Oh, Wrap Trade AI. That's what it is, maybe. Brand new tokens you're usually not going to see on CoinMarketCap, so you got to look around for them. And definitely be careful if you see these messages here. It could be a scam token if it's low liquidity. I bet that one is actually. I would verify and verify again before getting into any of these if they're brand new. You don't want to get rugged on something that's the wrong contract. Well, I can't find any information there that would make me feel like that was it. Let's just look at it on the chart, see if we can find it. Oh, not even bringing up a token. Might have to bring up TAI. Now this one may be hard to figure out. 033. Yeah, I mean, I don't even have a price here. I think I'm gonna skip this one. There's just not enough information for me. And there's so many plays with smart money. You don't have to enter every single one of them. ATEC. I don't have a price on this one either, do I? There are a couple wallets in it. I may have to look at these later and give them to our Discord if I can't find any information. It's difficult sometimes. Maybe an AVAX ecosystem. Yeah, I mean, this could be it here, but it's up quite a bit. I don't really want to chase something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's up 25x even from this point. Yeah, I think I would skip on this one just because of that. I don't like to chase those green candles, but it could be something to come back to for sure. Neura, we've got a couple in that. Neuralink protocol. I think somebody in our group mentioned this one the other day, possibly. Or maybe it was Neural AI. There's so many names. These have so many similar names. And we're almost done here, by the way, if this feels like it's going too long, but I think we've got maybe one more token to look at. Neuralink. Well, I'm gonna see if I can find it. Maybe it's the only one with that name. Yeah, see how there's so many, like you got one named Neuralink, you got one named Neural, you got one named Neural AI. if that's it. Let's see. Well, I'll just go back to this one offline because it may take me a little bit. These new tokens are really hard to find. And then we got one named Rude. This is probably the only one named that. Well, it's not even showing up, is it? Okay, guess we can't look at that one then. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I could show you some signals here, maybe, just to wrap it up. Just see if there's any. This is smart money token flow. So this is seeing, you want to see a big multiple, but you also don't want to see a big pump out of it before you get in. But if you see smart money going into something in the last 24 hours, then it could be a sign. C-pool's been real strong. I think it might be an RWA, possibly real world asset narrative. Fed. A lot of these are too high in market cap for me to even mess with. Cat. Oh yeah, this one's already up like a 10x. I mean, Pandora had a big pump, what, 2-3 weeks ago. It could get going again, maybe. And sometimes this is a tell as well. I mean, you got smart money. Is this? See, they sent. Okay, so smart money is sending USDC to the exchange, probably getting ready to buy something. Now, if you saw them receiving USDC, that's them bringing it to their wallet. So this is actually a bullish sign, most likely. But again, it's still very important that Bitcoin gets back above this level. I consider it bullish currently just because it's above the bullish line, but if it was to drop back below it, obviously it wouldn't be good. What is that? Ali. Oh yeah, that's that one that I completely missed before. This is TokenFi. It's doing great. This is also an RWA. It's actually a really interesting project that you may want to look into. I mean, the market cap's already up there, but I think it could be a good long-term play. Virtual, we played that one. It's already up quite a bit. Yeah, so I think let's just end it there. I don't believe there's anything else I want to talk about, but if there is, we'll get into it the next video. I'm going to try to do as many of these as I can. Usually I'm so busy with our group or, all the plays that we're talking about, or even, I have a full-time job, but I put a lot of effort and time into crypto. So I'm usually doing that instead of my job. But I do own the business, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah, things look pretty bullish currently. If things change in that regard, I'll let you know. I will look into these other tokens and post them to our group first, and then I'll post them to public on my Twitter. So be sure to follow my Twitter. But if you're interested in our group, go down into the description. You'll see it there. If you're interested in buying Nansen, don't miss out on the discount code that I have there. The only caveat is you do have to have a new account with Nansen, or you have to have an account that has never purchased a subscription. So just be aware of that. Okay, well, I appreciate the group members joining me that were in here today, and hopefully it was helpful to you, and hopefully it was helpful to the people not in our group as well. Leave me a comment in the comment section below if there's something that you want me to cover next time, or if you have a question about anything I talked about. And definitely hit the like, because that's going to get it out there to more people, or share it with your friends, whatever. But until next time, I will keep posting some stuff on Twitter, and we'll just keep looking at smart money. Appreciate y'all.